when he said, this is your husband, say, no, how now? This man is too spiritual for me.
This video is specially prepared to bless your life. So do well to like, subscribe, turn on your notification bell to get notified when we make a new post. Remain blessed.
I have seen Apostle Arome since I met him in 2001. Until date, the fire has gone higher and higher and higher. Because he knows how to maintain. He knows that it's not just about receiving the fire, but maintaining it. And that has been my human example. We know that example is Jesus. I wasn't here on earth when Jesus was here. But I know a man who walked in the ways of Jesus. Physically, I saw it. And through it all, I have been encouraged to press on. Praise the Lord. RCN started just a year before I got married. So I just came into ministry straight. I was still trying to adjust, enjoy my marriage, go for honeymoon, like many of us ladies. It's always in my heart. We'll even be thinking, where will I go for my honeymoon? In fact, some of you already have where you want to go. One of the places I wanted to go was, I used to hear, I've never been there, Sun City, South Africa. I said, yes, I'm going to be running on the beach, Sun City. And then I married this man. And it wasn't about Sun City. It wasn't about honeymoon. I was like, am I in the right place? Is this what I bargained for? And I continued. I remember immediately after our wedding, I think we got married October, somewhere in November, we had to go for a ministers' conference, and I had to follow him, of course. And yet the honeymoon was not yet coming forth. But I was just thinking, okay, maybe before the conference, take me for honeymoon. I didn't hear anything. Then we went for the conference. I said, okay, let me go wear my suit. I'll go for a conference. And I went for a conference. There was no honeymoon. Then, even in the midst of the conference, we were at a friend's place. And right there, I think in the morning, my husband had woken up to take his bath. I was still in the bedroom. And suddenly, there was this coffin that just appeared before me. But let's take it back to a day before that day. We came into the conference day one. And then there was this mommy. God bless her soul, she's late now. But she was the one who called for a seed for the building of Papa's church, the new site. And she said she knows that 10 people here can give 50,000 and then 100,000. She was just, and I just thought, then my spirit said, Dinna, but you can't give now. I said, no, it's not me God is talking about right now. Because when I left my parents, as they sent me off to my husband's place, they gave me 100,000. That was the only money that was tied to my name. And this is God telling me that money, I should give it. I said, but this money is for security purpose. In case I need something, and the man who doesn't even look at honeymoon is not ready to give me that money. I will just pinch a little and do what I want to do. So it was like security in my hands. And here was God saying, give me. So I said no. Then we're all seated down. All this was going on in my mind. My husband got up and walked forward. When he called for, I think, 100,000 or something. At the time, I think he was earning maybe 80 or 90, something like that. And so he got up and went. So in my mind, this is me now. I'm acting the drama or the film. I said, he has gotten up now. His man and wife is one. So he has covered for us. But the Spirit of God kept pushing me, kept pressing me. Say, Dinna, go out. That 50,000, you have to give it. She said, okay. I got up reluctantly and I went forward. My husband was there and I was like, wouldn't he look so foolish? Husband is there, wife is there. He's supposed to stand for us now. I was just negotiating. But the long and short of it was, immediately after that morning meeting, I quickly withdrew the 50,000 and gave it. Then in the night of that same day, that was morning, in the evening session, there was this man of God who came also, and he was preaching. And he said, there are 32 persons here that death is hanging on your head. There are 32 persons. And he said, the power of God is going to move right now. And God is going to break that yoke of death from over their life. Honestly, I was number one to go down. I was just thinking, what if I was in honeymoon? So I got up and we went. Day one passed. So in the night, that same day, went to sleep. The following morning, we were supposed to come for morning session. Before the morning session, my husband woke up and went to take his bath. While I was on the bed, this coughing just came. And it was trying to summon my spirit because there was a struggle. I was on the bed, but there was that struggle. Trying to, I don't know whether it's to conjure me to enter into the coffin or something. But there was a force that was holding me back. Then suddenly my husband finished and he came out. It left. So I was telling my husband, I said, something just happened now. I said there was a coffin. So unknown to me, I didn't know that there was death that had followed me from, I don't know from where. But if I had insisted and I didn't sacrifice that honeymoon, I don't know where I would be by now. Probably I wouldn't be here. There are things that God has told you to give. For me, honeymoon was number one. Many other things as we go on, I will say to you. But what is that thing you've been struggling with God about that He says give? He's the one who knows the end from the beginning. We only struggle with Him because we don't have faith enough to see what He's saying. When I look at my life and I saw how I looked worthless, yes, I saw how I was a failure, and I just surrendered to Him. Then He decided to wear Himself on me and began to walk. That means follow me. As I followed, there were times I struggled. I'm not perfect though. There are times I struggled with it. I'm like, God, why? Every time you say give this, give. Every time give. Every time give. Until everything, I give everything. Everything. Is it everything you want? He said, yes, all. He took my relationship from me. Yes. But at the end, it was for the better. I didn't know any better at the time. He took that academic pursuit. He took it. He said, lay it. At the point, I laid it on the altar. After a while, he even took the enjoyment of marriage. He said, honeymoon. It laid on the altar. We laid it. But all those things, the way I'm saying, it's not that easy. I actually struggled before with tears, with crying, with weeping. I laid it. And it continues. And they continued. As you go, there are levels of sacrifice in each phase. What is that thing He's saying lay on the altar? Me, I thought I had the best of relationship. But I didn't know that was not God's will for me. It looked beautiful, looked like a relationship going somewhere. But because I had prayed and said, Lord, everything you have said concerning me, Lord, let it be fulfilled. And when He looked at the first place He looked at my relationship, He said, that's the first thing. It's not part of my script for you. So you have to lay it on the altar. Still gave me the grace. He gave me faith to move on. To move. And then even when this man came, who was now supposedly supposed to be my husband, I was trying to reject it. You see, we as human beings, we are blind. We can't see far. God is the one who knows the end from the beginning. So when He said, this is your husband, I say, no, how now? This man is too spiritual for me. All the things I was afraid of, they all befell me. Yes. I was afraid of sacrifice. That was the word. I was afraid of sacrifice. Because I knew that when I get married to this man, then I'm going to have to sacrifice much. I was afraid. Oh, somebody's smiling. I think maybe God is calling her to a minister of God or something. Or maybe you're married already. Yes. No. Okay. So I'm right. I dash you, man of God. Oh, yes. It was a great sacrifice on my part. And how God now did it. He knew that I had to go through a process. There's somewhere He was taking me through, but I have to pass. There's a road I must follow. And He kept showing me that there are no shortcuts. He showed me in different ways. that there are no shortcuts in this thing. Because honestly, if there was a shortcut, I would have preferred it. No, we want to go the short way. Let this thing pass. Let it pass quickly. Like Jesus even said, let this go. Let it pass over me. Nobody likes it. Nobody. But it is very important. It's necessary that sacrifice must be laid on the altar. There's no fire without a sacrifice. And there's no burnt offering without fire. And it's that burnt offering he's looking for. Because he delights. He has pleasure from the incense that comes from a burnt offering. That sacrifice that you give with your heart, it becomes an incense. And at that point, when God sees that you have offered, he releases fire. That fire will actually determine your passion. It will determine your motivation. It will determine that you will not be distracted. It will determine what you are passionate about, that you are passionate about holiness. You cannot carry fire. No, that kind of fire that will be there, and then there's nothing like holiness or consecration in your life. No, there's no base for it to rest. When they say stand well, there's no base for it to stand in your life. You give it off. You ask for help. You ask for grace. Everything that easily besets you, you begin to present it to God. This thing, Lord, take it away. I give it to you. I give it to you. My failures, I give it to you. This sin, I give it to you. This addiction, I give it to you. I don't want it anymore. As long as you have the desire to pray and you know that your life cannot proceed apart from your prayer efforts, then you will take prayer seriously. Prayer must be taken seriously. It doesn't come to anyone naturally. No one was born with the ability to pray. No, it's not a natural thing. It's not something of the flesh. It is a spiritual thing. Anything you are today in prayer is a function of grace. Yes, grace is applied. As you pray, the grace of God comes in your prayer to give you that enablement, to give you that support. I never thought I'll be able to do 3 days dry fast. How? When I was in university, it never came to my mind. It never. Until one day God demanded it. And he said, you need to take the women through a 3 days dry fast every beginning of the year. I was like, are you sure, Lord, that people will subscribe to this? 3 days dry and quiet, you said. I said, wow. I said, okay, I will announce as you have said. And I announced it. I said, the day is going to be 2nd to 4th. First day of the year, eat all the rice you can. Because by the 2nd day, you go on a journey. I wasn't expecting much people to come, honestly. Even myself, I was still watching myself like, are you sure I can do this? Dinna, are you sure you're not carrying people to death? The day came. Oh my God. And lo and behold, we put the attendance. And people started coming, one trickling in, 1, 2. I was surprised. The first surprise I had was when one man actually brought his wife in his car with her load, her bucket, her mattress, everything. I was shocked. I said, this man believes so much in what we are doing. He bundled his wife here. I said, my God. I said, this is a surprise for me. And people started turning up. Before I knew, people started coming. I said, for dry, I reminded them, it's a dry fast. You're not going to eat anything, you're not. They say, yes, they know. I said, oh, really? So let me buckle my own belt. And then people, the long and short of it, the women that showed up for the first time were over 50 for a 3 days dry fast. And through it, I had never done it before. That was my first time. Because it was corporate. You are the leader. You have to live by example. Oh my God. The first day, everybody was kabashing, kaputam, pete, pala. Even me, by the 2nd day, it was like we're dragging our feet to the place of prayer. In fact, the sleep that night was so sweet. And then we just said, welcome, it's time to wake up for prayer. It was like they put a heavy stone on me. I said, is this how this is? So someone who has been doing dry, 7 days dry every month, told us that's how 2nd day, 3rd day, it becomes like that. So I said, okay, God, if I'm feeling like this, how would 3rd day be? And I still have to lead. So the 2nd day, I said, Sister Carol, lead. It's not me you want to kill here. I'm not the only one that knows how to pray. Lead. So I shared it. I shared everything. I said, it's only me. And people queued in, and that was how we did it corporately. By the third day, we got home. I don't know where the strength came from. It came from the Lord. And I saw women on fire praying. I say, this is 3 days dry fast. People haven't eaten. They haven't. I say, Lord, this is a great sacrifice. Lord, use this sacrifice to bless these women. Whatever they are looking up to you for. And truly that day was. And from that day, all the times we call for dry fast, the last one, they were about 200 and something, 150, 80 something or so that came for the dry fast. In fact, the hall is too small now. We don't even know how next year is going to be. But God will always make a way because it's what He wanted. So this is sacrifice. It's something you do deliberately. Those women, they came deliberately. They were tired of the situations around their lives. They say, is this how we will keep going? Why sit we here still till we die? We move on. And they came. It's time to shake yourself. This is what other women are doing. Me too, I can't join in. I can't do it. And that was how, before myself, I didn't know that I could. I now knew that the grace of God is available. Even in prayer, I say, I don't know how to pray. Anytime I pray, nothing comes. The grace of God is available. Ask Him for that grace. When He sees you're conscious about it, He sees you're deliberate about it. He sees that even when you come, you do it fleshly. First day, second day, He will supply His Spirit. Oh yes. The entire infrastructure of the flesh system is opposed to prayer. Yes, the entire infrastructure of the flesh doesn't like prayer. Because prayer is an invitation from God, who happened to be the only personality that can deal with the entire architecture of the fallen nature, to come on the scene. He's the only one. God is the only one that can deal with that architecture of flesh. And so when we call upon Him, He will supply His Spirit. There are also hidden satanic systems built into the fall to ensure that we don't find that level of help from God. So the devil doesn't even want us to partake in prayer or to even start any prayer initiative anywhere. When you want to start, he will come with power to oppress you, to suppress you, to subdue you. But you too, you need to stand and say, this prayer, when we I be able to pray like this, I move. Praise God. There's something that is locked in the soul of man that resists prayer. It's called haste. A haste is locked in the soul of man. And this haste does not manifest until somebody wants to pray. So you will come and suddenly you start wanting to leave the presence of God. There's no time. Some of us come into prayer. We'll start looking at the time. Move. That haste is to make sure you don't enter. Maybe you only touched the surface, then the haste took you out. You couldn't touch the depths of prayer. Haste is supplied in the world system to make sure you never enter or engage in prayers. You will see that in gisting, the haste does not come. In gossiping, a haste does not come. You will even say, when someone says, sister, I have one gist for you, say, sit down. Let me hear. You will get the seat. Say, sit down. Gist me. You have all the time. You don't even care. It's like watching a serious movie. You keep staying there and hearing, really? And you keep staying there. So you see, there's no haste. Then you know that those are things of the flesh. So nothing is opposed to it. But when it comes to prayer, it's time we deliberately come into the place of prayer and we're not looking at time. If you know that that's where your life will spring from, then you prosecute it properly. Stay there. You come like Esther and say, this one is unto death. Oh. If I die, I die. I stay here until you hear me, Lord. Until you answer me. Women, you have much power, but you need to find your place in prayer. When you find your place in prayer, that thing that is troubling your family can bring it down. Yes. What is needed to sustain this life of prayer mode? Let us look at Acts chapter 2, verse 42. It says, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, in the breaking of bread and in prayers. The word there is continued. They continued. They continued steadfastly, deliberately. Every day they met. They did not want to give Satan any chance. Every day they met, and they grew in their number. They grew in their number. As they came together, they became more powerful. These are the men that turned the world upside down. It was in that place where they continued, they received power. They received fire to do what God called them to do what Jesus called them out of their daily routines to do. They continued steadfastly. This steadfastly is the prescription, is the way, that's the style, that's the lifestyle you need to keep putting. It's not automatic. There's no computer that will do the laboring for you. No, you use computer, this, then it's what we touch. Yeah, it happens. This one, there's nothing computer that can help you in prayer. There's nothing computer that can help you put wood on that altar. You know, now everything is. People don't even have work again because machines have taken over. But in that area, it won't work like that. No, this one is, you will keep putting it. It's not automatic. It's deliberate, intentional, consistent. It must be part of your lifestyle. You need to ask God to help you to make prayer part of your lifestyle. Because without it, how will you move? I remember the first time I went to Birmingham. That was around 2020 or so. I came to this hotel where I stayed. And I slept. In that dream, I just saw the door of my room just opened. I was sleeping. But honestly, it wasn't a sleep because I was in between awake and asleep. So I think it's a trance. So it opened, and in the sleep, I looked at the door. I said, what's this? Why should my door open on its own accord? So I got up in the sleep to shut the door. I tried shutting it. It refused to shut. I said, this is serious. I was pressing. There was a force behind that was opening the door. When I saw that, this one is not power, it's not strength. It's tongues. So I started blasting tongues in my sleep. All trance. And it was in that trance I shut the door. Now that was spiritual. Immediately it happened. I woke up from the bed. I said, what just happened? Immediately, of course, let me go to my teacher. I called him. I said, sweetheart, something just happened. He said, what happened? I said, my door just opened. I saw it. I struggled. I did it. He said, they are just coming to see who has arrived. It means buckle up. Where you are is a zone. I said, so the remaining days, it was prayer in the night. I didn't sleep. Anytime I wake up, I said, no, I can't sleep. You can't take over me. You can't put me down. I shall not be subdued by you. And that was how I had those days, and I went back. So how will you prosecute testing? How will you survive when you don't know how to pray? Your pastor might not always be available for you. You might come, Pastor, I called you. You didn't pick up. You didn't pick up my calls. But if you know how to pray, you are going to buckle up and you're going to pray. Because maybe your child is at the verge of death. You need to cast that spirit of death up and you need to speak life into your child. Yes, you will be at a point where you are in a crossroad. You don't know what to remember. Prayer and begin to pray. It's very important in our life. Adding wood to the fire. You must keep doing it deliberately. You must keep doing it. God will only accept a sacrifice that is what? Without blemish. Because there are some people that will say, but I've prayed, I've done this, I've done that, I've done. Sometimes there might be an issue of blemish. I'm saying sometimes, not all the time. There might be an issue of blemish. Sometimes it might be an issue of timing. Yes, because there is timing. When God told me about this, it didn't be until 16 years later. When God through someone told me about, you're going to be mother of nations. I was mother of nations. What do you mean by that? I didn't understand it. I didn't have an inclination about it. But until I started entering into it unprepared, then I understood that what? Then elderly people come and say, Mommy. I say, more what? I say, how old am I? Then they're bringing some big problems that I don't understand. So I'm just forced to go back to God. I say, God is like that heavy burden you told me it has come finally. Now I understand it. Then I remember that he said, when this thing comes upon you, don't try to carry it on your own. Turn it back to me. Then I remembered. Then I began to say, Lord, see my weakness. I have no strength of my own. I can't carry this thing. I can't. How am I going to maintain my family? How am I going to grow my children? They say ministers' children are always wayward. How do I contend with these forces? How do I do this thing? How? So many people are thronging around you. Some of them you don't even have an idea of how to even help them. You go back to him. I go back and say, Lord, see my frailty. I am weak. I am wretched before you. You are the one who told me there will be a ministry. You are the one who told me this minister is my husband. I didn't plan it. I didn't even want it. But you brought it. So Lord, take care of it. Take care of it. When I feel like crying, I go back to you. I cry there. And he comforts me. Oh yes. When he is your friend, you can always turn to him. You need to make him your friend. You need to make him your friend. You need to ask him to take away every blemish from your life that will not allow you to enter into his promise.
Thank you for joining us today on Remnants Praise Channel. We hope the message you received has touched your heart and uplifted your spirit. Remember, in times of joy or challenge, faith is our steadfast anchor. Let's continue to share love, kindness, and the word of God to all corners of the earth. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring content. Until we meet again, remain blessed.